I'll start off by saying that what this conference, event, meeting, what it's about. There's a lot of people which have asked me, what do you seek to achieve by inviting community leaders and people which have a status in especially the Pakistani / Kashmiri community? Well, in short, following the recent terrorist arrests, understandably, I was approached by many constituents, and as a cabinet member for local service and community safety, they wanted reassurance from me in relation to the incidents, which are not related to Birmingham, but they clearly feel that there are ramifications for them. And so, the key objective for me is one, reassurance, and we've got police officers in the audience as well as on the stage, who I hope will provide some reassurance in relation to the work that is being done around preventing violent extremism. But it's also about listening to some of the concerns of residents about how they feel affected by incidents which may not necessarily have any link with them directly or indirectly.
Thank you very much, Pt Ayoub Khan. And again, thank you for setting the scene and presenting some very interesting facts and raising the concerns of the community we as councillors elected serve. And yes, you're very right to say that it's not just a Muslim issue, but it's actually a very BAB-led issue, so we need to raise those concerns and make sure we take them forward. Thank you. The next speaker, if I can get John Hemming to come up and say a few words.
When you look at styles of policing, for instance, you can see in London that the style of policing of the Metropolitan Police is not a very good style of policing. But the style of policing in the West Midlands is far better, and this meeting is, and I thank Councillor Pt1 Ayoub Khan for organising it, it is a symptom of a better style of policing, which is for the police to talk to the community and to work with the community in resolving those difficulties where the actions need to be taken, but they need to be taken in such a manner that doesn't make anything any worse. And I think what we can do is congratulate the West Midlands Police in not making the errors that are made in London with the Metropolitan Police, and we all know of various things that have gone wrong in London. And it is very good for them to come along here and talk to the community. Politicians have a responsibility, which is to not try to make political capital out of police actions, and I think if we look at the actions, perhaps I shouldn't say this if I'm not being political, but I don't think it was well advised of the Prime Minister to try to milk publicity out of the situation. So I finish on the point of thanking the police for coming on and congratulating the West Midlands Police in working with the community, and congratulating the community and thanking you for coming along to work with the police.
If we can get Deputy Leader of Birmingham County, Paul Tilsley, to come and say a couple of words. Thank you.
As Councillor Khan said in his opening speech, prevention of violent extremism is important. It's important if we're going to have a cohesive community in Birmingham. And if people don't have any hope for the future, they will resort to extremist action. And therefore I think that the governments have to have the ability to look above what is the problem with the banks and the world's economic problems, to see how it plays out in places like Birmingham, where we have a very diverse community. We have a responsibility to treat people equally before the law, to ensure that communities aren't picked out for special attention. Because I well remember what happened in the 70s when we had the pub bombings in Birmingham, and the fear that the Irish community lived under for years after. We don't want that to happen in Birmingham with any community in the future.
Right. Secondly, if we can get Chief Superintendent Paul Scout to come and say a few words.
Happy to be here to try and reassure and to be transparent and accountable about the police actions in West Midlands. what I would say is, I'm not Greater Manchester Police. I'm not the Metropolitan Police Service. I'm happy to talk in principle about the sorts of things we've done and make conjecture about why Manchester acted the way it did, but I have no specific knowledge about those arrests. I think also I want to start off with the vision for West Midlands Police and the vision for the National Counter-Terrorism Strategy. The vision for West Midlands Police is to reduce crime and disorder and make communities safer. All communities safer. That's at the heart of what we're trying to do.
I'm not worried that 12 people were arrested and released. I think that's a good thing. It shows we have a robust judicial system in this country, and the nature of policing is that you will have innocent people arrested. It's about what is the process and how is that handled. So I don't think we're here today saying the police were wrong for arresting those people. The other piece of good news is that I do believe the West Midlands Police are a good example of how policing and the community can work together. And in fact, they listened and learned from mistakes, and we just had a very humble and honest account from Mr. Scarrett.
Thank you very much. It's on put some very important facts forward and sort of highlighting the fact that terrorist activity is not just isolated in the UK, but it's something that happens all across the world. Thank you. Next, I would like to ask Councillor Kllr Ayoub Khan, the lead member for the West Midlands Police Authority, to come on and say.